Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure at one point in time in all of our lives we come across obstacles and troubles, the things that we don't know what to do. Well, I'm pretty sure I have. So my quote is, when the going gets tough, the smart gets lost. From Robert Barr. And I totally believe in this quote because when we're dealt with situations and certain things, sometimes we don't know what to do, or we don't know how to act or how to react to it. And for instance, you know, in life in general, you know, we all have to make choices. We have to get up. Maybe we don't get a ride to school, but some way we have to make it for that test, you know. So we just gotta somewhere get around it. And some people lose that smart. A lot of us lose that smart. Some of us don't. I mean, for me, in sports, you know, like I always gotta keep it smart, because if I don't keep it smart, then it's gonna affect me and where I want to be later on in my life. So I really, when I think of this quote, I think of the movie 30 Days of Night. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but one of the head guys, he's like a vampire, and he kills the guy, and the guy tries to, like, he doesn't kill him, but he walks up to the guy, and the guy's trying to kill himself, and he tells him, you know, when things get tough, you guys don't know what to do, so you kill yourself. And that's one thing I really think that relates to the quote, because one thing about us is that sometimes we don't know what to do, so we just panic, we rush things, we give up, you know. So I think that this quote can relate to everybody in here, and everything that we do in the future. I pretty much, you know, that's all I can really think of. Yeah, but I mean, just, you know, when the next time you deal with a trouble or a decision that you're making that's really big in your life, you'll think, you know, just to keep smart and just make the right choice.
Right, Aaron, the opening was okay. I thought you took the quote and found an interesting interpretation of it, so that's going to be fine. There's not really a structure that you set up, and I think that's part of the problem later on, is that you kind of run out of things to talk about after the couple of examples or ideas that you have. I think you need to give us a little bit more context. I saw the movie, I just don't remember the scene, and you need to give us a little bit more elaboration and telling the story. You're giving us kind of the highlights version instead of making it more narrative in nature. And there, I think it does illustrate the point that you're talking about, so it's a good illustration on that point. But then you kind of flounder around trying to find something else, and there's not really much there. That's one of the problems with not having an organizational structure. You're going to run out of things to talk about. On the presentation issues, your voice is okay. There's okay variety. Not a lot of energy, but things are flowing pretty smoothly. A couple of things that are very noticeable. You've got your hands in your pockets the whole time you're speaking, and it looks even sometimes like you might be gesturing, but you're gesturing from inside of your pockets, and that looks weird. Okay, so you got to be careful about that. Your facial expressions, you're fairly expressive, not overdoing it, but okay, and you're okay with talking to the audience. You're not looking away, you're not shying back from us. I think you could be a little bit more engaging, and that's easy to do when you know that you've got something to say, and I think that that's really the source of the problem there. It's not that you're shy, it's just that you're uncertain about how you're going to say something. The other thing that I thought was a little iffy was your body movement and your posture. You kind of shift your weight back and forth from one foot to the other, and it gives you sort of this odd swaying effect, and you want to be more conscious of your posture while you're standing up there. So those would be the two things that I think might indicate a little bit of anxiety. At the end of the speech, it sounded like you were bailing on the end of the speech, and I thought, oh, well, that's too bad. But you know what? I think you kind of stepped back up and, you know, took a swat at it and made it a little bit clearer. You had a point right at the end, and I thought you did a good job at that. So, you know, it gives a better impression than what you were going to have, and I think that you always want to end off trying to give people a good impression, because people always remember the first and the last things. If the last thing is something pretty good, then even if there's a couple of things in the middle that weren't so hot, you know, they've got something nice to hang on to. All right, thank you.